I was the Crown Prince's ex-wife, stripped of my title as Crown Princess. I fell seriously ill and lost both my hearing and my ability to speak. But honestly, I was faking the whole time. I just didn't want to deal with people. What I didn't expect was, once everyone thought I was deaf and mute, the Crown Prince and his concubines started using me as their personal therapist. 3 years ago, my father, Chancellor Yu, was taken down. I got caught in the fallout and lost my title as Crown Princess. His side consort, Xu Ning, took my place. I was devastated and fell gravely ill. When his wife suddenly went deaf and mute, the Crown Prince actually felt sorry for me. He moved me to the most secluded corner of the East Palace and made sure no one would bother me. But nobody knew, and I was faking all of it. I've never liked socializing since I was a kid. But once I became Crown Princess, I had to mingle with people from morning to night. Every single day was pure torture. So I decided to fake being deaf and mute. All those people who wanted to feel superior to me came over and talked my ear off. After I went blah 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 a few times, my world finally got some peace and quiet. But I celebrated way too soon. Sure, the small fry stopped coming around, but the ones who started showing up? All heavy hitters. The first visitor was the former side consort Xu Ning, now the Crown Princess. I wasn't even fully recovered yet, and she was already here to mock me. You Tingshu, look at you now. You used to be so cold and untouchable, acting all high and mighty toward everyone. And now you're deaf and mute? If I were you, I'd be absolutely ashamed of myself. She went off on me like she owned the place. One more step and she'd have "Sore Winner" tattooed on her forehead. Meanwhile, I just sat there holding my steaming bowl of medicine, slowly sipping away, perfectly playing the role of someone who couldn't hear a thing. After roasting me for a while, she got bored, picked out a cushioned stool, sat herself down, and actually started venting to me about East Palace drama. I just don't get it. The Emperor is so brilliant and capable. How is his son this useless? It's just archery. The Emperor hits bullseye every time. The Crown Prince misses every single shot. I almost burst out laughing. Oh, so this is how you talk about the Crown Prince behind closed doors, Xu Ning. You praised him to the skies when you were competing with me for his favor, but behind his back you're embarrassed he can't even hit a target. I took a slow sip of my medicine and kept listening to her roast him. Why did I end up marrying the Crown Prince instead of the Emperor? He was already a man before I was even born. By the time I came around, he was already taken. That hit so different I choked on a huge gulp of medicine and started coughing hard. She immediately snapped her eyes to me, and I could already see the killing intent in them. First time faking deafness, rookie mistake. I knew my slip-up had made her suspicious. If I didn't play this off, she would absolutely destroy me. Right at that moment, I spotted a tiny bug crawling on the curtain. As I stood up, I snatched that little bug lightning fast and dropped it into my bowl. Xu Ning stepped toward me, and I slowly looked up at her with a delayed reaction, pointing at the bowl with a panicked look on my face. Xu Ning saw it was just a bug, let out a breath of relief, then gave me a look of pure contempt. It's just a bug. Look how scared you are. You really are getting more and more of a coward. But I'd broken her momentum and she had no desire to keep going, so she left. After she left, I sat there with a fresh bowl of medicine, heart still pounding like crazy. Xu Ning actually has a thing for the Emperor. Girl, you are out of your mind. But thinking about it, it actually makes sense why Xu Ning, with her impressive background, still chose to marry the Crown Prince even though he already had a wife. If it was all just to get close to the Emperor, then everything checks out. The Crown Prince is only 20 this year, and the Emperor is only 36. Supposedly 10 years ago, Duke Shu's youngest daughter was ambushed by bandits on the road, and the Emperor, not yet on the throne at the time, happened to pass by and saved her. I just stumbled onto a massive piece of gossip and it kept me up all night. Does this woman have no filter? How did something this wild just slip out of her mouth? What, is my entire family tree just on clearance sale? After that whole thing, I locked myself in every day and drilled my acting skills hard. By the time the Crown Prince came to visit, I could keep a straight face even if he dropped dead right in front of me. He heard I'd been copying scriptures to clear my head, so he brought me a few Buddhist texts. After testing me and confirming I truly couldn't hear, he sat down in the main seat, tilted his head back, and let out a long, heavy sigh. Tingsue, I am so exhausted. How could father develop feelings for his own daughter-in-law? My jaw nearly hit the floor. I almost snapped the ink stick clean in half. Easy, you Tingsue. You already heard about this from Xu Ning. At most, they've got a mutual thing going on. Get it together before the Crown Prince notices. Wait, daughter-in-law? Not too long ago, the Emperor's daughter-in-law wasn't Xu Ning. It was me. Oh no. The Emperor was coming after me. My mind was going absolutely insane, mentally replaying every single time I'd ever been in the Emperor's presence while calmly grinding ink on the outside. No way. I never picked up on any sign that he was interested in me. Even his sister, Princess Ningyuan, paid more attention to me than he did. I've been playing the long game, haven't I? Using your father's conviction to strip you of your title, planning to bring you into the palace to serve him. Lucky for you, Tingsue, your illness spread far and wide, and father finally dropped the idea. Otherwise, I really would have lost you. At that, the Crown Prince actually started choking up. I numbly flipped open the Buddhist scripture and started copying, absolutely losing it in my head. Total idiot. Can't even protect his own wife. What are you even here for? Xu Ning likes him so much, just go hand her that blessing. The Crown Prince was crying so hard it was driving me insane. I was just about to find an excuse to kick him out when I heard him sob. It's just, father can do whatever he wants, but I have feelings for noble consort Shu and I can't say a word about it. I am done. Absolutely cooked. Your dad wants your wife, you're into your stepmom. Can the Li family have one normal thought? Isn't noble consort Shu literally Shu Ning's aunt? So you're out here chasing a stand-in? The audacity. The crown prince finally finished his meltdown and looked like he was ready to head out. I was thrilled on the inside, walked him to the door all polite and composed. But right at the doorway, he suddenly turned around and looked at me with this searching stare. Tingxiu, can you really not hear anything at all? Oh, I can hear you. Both ears, loud and clear. I just can't exactly admit that, can I? I looked up at him with a confused, blank expression and stood there uneasily. He reached out and touched my face. I hope you truly can't hear, my dear, because if you know this many secrets, I'm afraid I'd have no choice but to silence you. I cannot believe this man. Did I ask to know any of this? He walked back into the room and picked up the scripture I'd just been copying. They say you can read someone's state of mind through their handwriting. If your deafness were an act, your brushstrokes would give you away, shaky, unsettled. My heart dropped. I watched him flip through every single page, checking carefully until his face settled into an expression I couldn't quite read. Disappointment, or maybe relief. Your state of mind is almost unsettlingly calm. Even with me standing right here, your handwriting looks exactly the same as always. Because you grabbed the one I copied before any of this happened, genius, idiot. Shu Ning was right. The Crown Prince really is kind of dumb. The Crown Prince finally left for real. I picked up the scripture I'd just finished and found it was a complete disaster. Typos everywhere, and I'd even poked a hole through one of the pages. The original line, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. I'd written dad's a creep, son's a creep. Flipped to the next page. Where it should say the Buddha spoke of the first paramita, I'd filled the whole page with, I really want a mango. After 3 months of being tag-teamed by the Crown Prince and Shu Ning, I pushed myself hard enough to learn sign language. Then one day, a strikingly handsome young man arrived at the East Palace. Young Master Ning,